You were planning to get married?
We even got to the point of premarital counseling.
Why did things end?
We had our ups and downs, obviously.
Right.
More of in the physical aspect. Like I was like crying a lot. Like I was just like trying to get it all out.
This is crazy.
Hi, my name is Destined. I'm 22 years old and this is Dating Audit.
Thank you for joining the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, what do you do for a living?
Well, currently now I'm unemployed, but I'm actively searching for a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what field?
In the business finance field, because I studied economics in school, so I'm trying to look more into that field.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully you find something soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
And what is your relationship status?
I am single. I'm very single. Yes.
Now let's go into your dating history. So tell me, I guess, how far back does your dating history go? Like, when did it begin?
I would say in college it kind of started. I spoke to this guy before, but at the time he was like an atheist, and
Oh God.
yeah. And you know,
this is in college.
In college.
And you went, where'd you go to college? Okay.
I don't think I want to put that.
You could beat
Yeah.
that, yeah.
But yeah, and you know, when you think you could change him, like, oh yeah, I could like read the Bible to him and he could change and all that. And
Oh
like,
God.
Nah.
So how did that? So were y'all like dating, and then you found out he was an atheist, or you knew beforehand?
I think it was like a few weeks in, and then I kind of found out. But then I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't really care for it, but I was like, okay, if I just pray hard enough, he like,
You'll like convert, yeah.
Yeah. But
How'd you find out?
I think we were just talking, and then he said it casually, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then we like kind of broke up. Like it was started in November of my freshman year, and then it ended in like the beginning of December or like mid-December.
Oh,
and
okay.
then so it was kind of like.
Yeah, that probably doesn't really count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. But like from the start, that's from the beginning, and then in between, I had situationships.
So let's talk about your most recent relationship. Why did things end?
So it kind of got to a point where we were like stagnant, where it felt like
stagnant in terms of not taking the next step.
No, because we even got to the point of premarital counseling. Like we were doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. And we like obviously talked about a future and having a future together. Like, you know, obviously we both had the end goal of marriage. Yeah. And we were on the same page up until like, I think I asked him a question of like, oh, how's your faith? Because I feel like how's your like walk been going with Christ? Because I felt like we haven't talked about it in a while. And I felt like it got stagnant to the point of like, it was neither pulling us away from Christ, but we weren't progressing at the same time. So it kind of was just like this flat line. Okay. And I just simply asked that, and I'm like, and it kind of opened a can of worms to other questions. And then we started opening about a lot of stuff, and we're like, and he was like, I was thinking about stuff like that too. And in my head, I'm like.
So you're saying the relationship wasn't bringing y'all closer to Christ? Or I'm a little confused.
I would say like we had our ups and downs, obviously.
Right.
And more of in the physical aspect, but also like spiritually, we would always like pray when we can, like, you know, read our Bibles when we can. We go to church together sometimes. Yeah. So it wasn't like, oh, we weren't like never on the same page, like spiritually. Right. But it was more of like we just got to this point where it's like, okay, we hit a stagnant spot. Right, what are we gonna do to move from here? Okay. You know, and I think we both like got to the point where it's like, I think we know what we have to do. Interesting. And when we were done, when we like spoke about everything and like, you know, came to the mutual agreement that okay, maybe this isn't for us anymore. We both felt like a weight was lifted off our shoulders, and we felt at peace about it. So it was like, okay, this was something that needed to happen. Interesting. Yeah, because you don't find that a lot where it's like there's peace, and it's like, oh, you know,
After the breakup.
yeah, and we're not
Yeah.
on bad terms or nothing like that. It was like one of those happy, healthy relationships.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the worst. That's like the hardest one than if it was toxic or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I feel like that issue, that's like a fixable problem.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, there was like other things. Like, what other things were there?
Well, in the beginning, we were kind of like physical, and then like I would feel bad, especially like when I started progressing in my walk with Christ. It was like, okay, I don't think we should be doing this, and we both know better, and we stopped. And then, like, I think because of that stop, we kind of got clarity a lot on
a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, typically, that's why, like, I liked how y'all started your relationship, because it was more like that emotional connection.
Yeah.
But when you introduce the physical, like, it just clouds your judgment.
Yeah.
So I could totally understand that. And I'm glad that you guys, like, you know, obviously corrected that. And I guess that probably, put a strain on things, you'd say?
Not really, but we kind of like, after we came to the like the agreement that we're not gonna be physical anymore, we kind of set boundaries where it's like, okay, if you come over, you're not gonna stay over.
Yeah.
If you if it gets to a certain point at night, you know, we gotta go home and stuff. So it was like we did set those boundaries, and like, you know, if we are, just limit the kind of amount of like physical touch that we bring into. So because we know a lot of things lead to another thing. Yeah. So we kind of set those boundaries, and then after that, it I feel like we kind of started realizing like, oh, like this is more serious than just doing all of that stuff. Like, we're working towards marriage. We're like, you know, so it has to be serious. And then the reason why I said, like, you know, how's your faith going? And I've seen, like, I'm obviously observing you because, you know, this is going to be someday like my future husband. Yeah. So obviously I'm going to observe you. And I think, and I remembered at one point he said that, you know, even if I'm not holding up to your standards, let me know. And I told him, and I'm like, hey, right now you're not kind of like meeting up to the standards, but not saying that you're going to meet up to every standard, but I'm like, you know, meet up to the non-negotiables. So I'm like, okay. And I'm telling him about that. And then basically one thing I remembered him saying is that, oh, how can I lead you if I can't even like do the things that I'm trying to lead you in? Basically,
he was saying I need to work on myself first before I could lead someone else.
Yeah, so basically he was saying that. Yeah, so I was like, okay, first of all, I'm not even mad at you. I'm not even upset, because we're all just saying all the honest things about ourselves and about the relationship. And I'm like, I respect you more for outright saying that. And my mom even called him. My mom called him.
Your mom called him?
Yes. But you wouldn't think the call had went what you think, like if a mom was to call after hearing that you broke a breakup. She was like, I respect you so much more.
Wow, that's good.
And I really appreciate the way you treated my daughter, from what I've heard, and even from what I've seen with you guys, like even from pictures and stuff. Like, I like really appreciate the way you treated her. And I respect you so much as a man, and I pray that, you know, you continue to flourish and grow in the man of God that you were called to be. And I was like, oh, it wasn't bad. Good, like even to the end of the breakup, it was healthy. And I would always tell people, like, if I was like telling the story, and I'm like, the way you see us outside was exactly how we were behind closed doors. So it wasn't like, oh, you're putting on this face in the front, and then behind closed doors we're like arguing or being toxic or anything like that. It was like pure and genuine.
That's good.
Yeah, throughout the whole relationship. So I have nothing to be mad at. It was just a few things, you know, where I was like, okay, I don't think you should, you know, you could be doing that, but...
Do you want to say
it was just like... I would say a few times that when he would go around his friends, it would be like a dirty mouth.
Okay.
And I'm like, I kind of get turned off with a lot of cussing.
Right.
So it's kind of like...
It's a little red flag for you.
Yeah, like if you cuss too much, if you're like partying a lot, like if you're just in a club scene all the time, then that's kind of a turn off. I mean, I had my moments, like probably once or twice with him, but then it was just like, you know, it never really happened after much. We never really went out to any clubs like that much. We started going out to like speakeasies, like just the mellow stuff. Yeah. And obviously in the beginning it was kind of like pre-Christ, so
Yeah.
but it was like just having a dirty mouth, and
Interesting.
if you're partying too much, or if I just see like you're not trying to grow your walk in Christ, then it's kind of like,
yeah, it's time to walk away. That's fair. And in all fairness to him, he did say that he has things to work on.
yeah, and that's why I like, even when I speak, I never bash him, I never say anything. It's just the truth that we both said and we both came to the agreement about, and yeah.
No, it's good. And what would you say you've learned from that relationship?
I've learned, well, for one thing, because I've never got to appreciate the singleness, like before, like, and then because I've never was really in a serious relationship, but even in the relationship and coming out of it, it's like, okay, this is what it is to be single. For real.
Right.
And I've learned that, you know, not reassurance, but like continue to state your intentions, even because, you know, as such a long time as a year, and as time goes on, stuff changes, like you change.
Yeah, you change, for sure.
So, you know, continue to reassure about the intentions. If the intentions change from when you first started dating, to speak up. Communication is what I'm saying. Basic communication.
That's good.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Set like those proper boundaries from the beginning and stick to those.
Healthy boundaries.
Yeah, healthy boundaries, you know.
We could talk a little bit about that. I guess going forward, you know, you're gonna be in another relationship, and you know, you're gonna be in those difficult situations again. Yeah. So how do you handle them? You know what I mean? And it's tough. I've been there. We've all been there. And sometimes you just fold. You know what I mean? So how do you set healthy boundaries?
I would say also, like, tying into that, one thing I've learned from my previous relationship is now like confrontation, whereas like I got to a point where it's like, okay, I don't like my time being wasted. I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want to waste my time. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna say what I need to say up front. Like, I've learned that to get that confidence to say it now, and
it's good.
I'll just say, like just set healthy boundaries. Like, you know, I'm not gonna be physical with you until you obviously we're married. I'm not, you know, if I see that you're like being lustful in any way, I'm gonna point you out and I'm gonna call you out. And
like,
even if it's like
be like specific.
Like if you're getting too sexual in the like early on, or like just
a little bit too flirty, touchy.
Not really. Like if you're getting more like you're speaking of a lot more sexual things than more things that could like add and like more valuable stuff, then it's like okay, I'm not entertaining that conversation. Just overall with boundaries, just be outright plain and state exactly what it is, not just like, oh, a beat around the bush kind of explanation. You know?
So I guess the thing about boundaries is, you have to get very specific, like as specific as possible. And often the question is with Christian dating is how far is too far? Right? Obviously there's a lot in between kissing and having sex. Right? So where do you cross that line? Where do you see yourself? Like, where is like, all right, this is all that we're doing?
If I see, like, I'm not gonna turn down a kiss, but if the kiss getting too passionate, where it's like, okay, back up. So
it sounds like there should be a time limit on the kiss. So maybe you guys say, okay, we kiss for 3 seconds or 5 seconds. But you get though, like you have to be very specific. You're like, oh, kissing's fine. But then you like start kissing too much. Or another example is, I don't mind him touching my leg, but like what part of your leg? You know
like if you get it a little too high, then it's like, okay.
So you could be like, he could touch my leg, but below my knee. You know, whatever it is. So I just think that it obviously takes time to figure these things out. So be very specific with the boundaries, as specific as possible, and you know, try like weird things. You know, if you guys, what me and my wife did when we were dating is sometimes we'd put like a physical pillow in between us, just because like a lot of people they're what do you call it? They feel affection just by touch, like that's their love language.
Yeah.
So by us just not physically touching each other, that made things a little bit easier. And I know it's a little bit weird, but if it works, it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because I really wasn't the type of person to set boundaries. I'm like, okay, if I don't like it, then I'm gonna make it known that I don't like it instead of saying it outright.
Right.
But yeah,
That's
stating out those boundaries, and like I said, I wasn't a very confrontational person. Now
gotta like speak up.
Yeah, now I know how to speak up.
Right, and I guess it'll be good to like have a guy that'll like lead you in that way too. And another thing that you want to always identify is who's the weaker one in the relationship. Oftentimes it's more so the guy, but a lot of times it could be the woman in the relationship. So you just identify who is weaker in terms of like less likely to maybe like say stop, you know what I mean? So that too would help in terms of like stopping things from like escalating too far.
Okay. Yeah.
And in terms of like you being open to dating going forward, how do you like, what does that look like? Like how do you meet somebody? What are your methods for like finding someone these days?
I mean, not finding, because the Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing. So I'm not out there finding. If he finds me, then I'm like, okay, good.
Okay.
But I would just say, like, put myself out there.
Okay.
Like, you know, obviously, like if I go somewhere, I'm not gonna just go looking like any type of way. And I'm just the type of person, I'm gonna always carry myself very well.
Right.
And if he sees me, then okay. But if it now is how you approach me, it's different. Cause I'd be walking down the street, especially like in the Journal Square area, and I get catcalled all day.
Okay.
And like I'm like, okay,
that's a no.
That's a no.
Okay.
If you come up and like in a respectful way of like, hey, I saw you like, and I think you're very like beautiful, and like if you don't mind me getting to know you, then you know, and I'd be like, okay.
You'd be fine with that? Yeah,
I'll be fine with that.
So he walks up to you and say, hey, you're beautiful. I would like to get to know you better. Can I get your number? Is that a little bit too far, or?
I mean, how else would he communicate, honestly? I'm even thinking about this now, like how else would he communicate? I can't say no to the number. But, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I'll give you the number, and then how do you go on from there? You know, be intentional with planning, be intentional with like trying to actually get to know me, not just say you want to get to know me and then don't say nothing else at all. Okay. I'm like, yeah.
And what about, let's say it's a guy, maybe he has your number already. Y'all are friends and he's interested, but y'all haven't like texted before, just like, you know, hi, hey, whenever you guys see each other. How should that guy shoot a shot?
He could be just honest and be like, hey, you know, I know we've been friends. He'd be like, hey, I know we've been friends, but I'm kind of like feeling in a direction maybe that we could be more than friends. Okay. And if I'm like, okay, we could give it a try. Then yeah, but if I'm like, no, you're just gonna stay my friend. Like, no, don't even try.
But you gotta, I guess you gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, you gotta,
Okay, that's fair.
You miss most of the shots you don't take, so.
Yeah, that's facts. What about dating apps? Have you ever used dating apps? Are you open to using dating apps?
That's so crazy, because I'm like literally, I always thought about it, and I was always like the type of person, I'm like, no, I never use a dating app. And like 2 nights ago, I downloaded it. And like today on my way here, I'm like deleting it, because I'm like, what is even the point of me being on here? Like, and I'm looking at the profiles, I'm like, this isn't for me. Honestly, it just isn't for me. Like I gave it a try, and I kind of did it for fun. And I'm like, I don't think I could take it. I don't think I could take this seriously. Like being on here.
What app were you using?
I was using like Hinge. I just did all the little popular ones everybody talked about.
I know Hinge. I heard Hinge is a good one.
Yeah, Bumble.
Bumble's good. What's a Christian one?
I downloaded a Christian one.
I think Upward's a good Christian one.
I don't know. I can't remember. It was advertising on TikTok, and I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And then I said no. I deleted my accounts today. I'm like, it was like 2 days in. I'm like,
it's not working.
It's just not even working. It just wasn't for me.
It's just not for you.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
It's like, the thing about dating apps is first of all, I don't have an issue with dating apps. I just wouldn't want it to be your main source of finding somebody else. Yeah. Is there anything else? Do you have any questions for me?
Not really. No, I don't.
Okay. Well, thank you, Destiny, for being on the show.
Of course, thank you for having me.
I am looking forward to your walk and how you continue to grow in Jesus Christ. And, if you ever end up in a situation later on, you're always welcome to come back on the show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Like and subscribe, guys. Thank you guys for watching the video.